Well, welcome to BackChat. That's right, powered by Paywise for season 2025. We power everything. We power Simo. We power Dan to trip to Bali. We power Drew Petrie. We power Hamish. We power West Coast Eagles because Paywise sponsor West Coast. We pretty much power Andrew McQualter because of that, because he's the coach. Mm-hmm. Basically, we power everything, but we are powered by Paywise. Hi, Hamish Brayshaw.
Hey, what's going on?
I can't hear myself in my own headphones, but that's fine. I'm going to take them out.
What's happening?
Mate, what's happening with you?
No.
I was just going to pretend like nothing was wrong.
No, just it's powered by Paywise, obviously. Happy Monday. Everything's just everything's good. Everything's coming up hammer.
What's happened there, buddy?
Nah, just thought why not? You know, we've had a big weekend. What happened? Dan's in Bali.
Yes.
What else happened this weekend? It was a bit wet. It rained.
Yep.
And
Jeremy McGovern retired.
Yeah, Jeremy McGovern retired. And what else happened? If I can just remember, the fucking boners got up and smoked Carlton. Put the Q in the rack. The boys had the audacity to think this game's done. Q in the rack. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous at all. Not one part of me was nervous that entire last quarter. We had it on toast. Just cruised home, put it into neutral and just said, let me roll down this big fucking Michael Voss-looking hill and then just pull up right out the front of Arden Street with just chicks and beers and whatever. We were rolling heavy. We are back. Anyway, that's what happened on the weekend. And since I've dyed my... I should have dyed my hair red, chorus and sing it one and all.
Hey.
Join in the chorus. North Melbourne's on the ball.
Hey.
Good old North Melbourne, the champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
Have we checked if that hair dye comes out? Because the more it dries, the less likely I think that comes off.
It's certainly... It still feels sort of like damp and wet and definitely still coming off my fingers. Look, it's... I did dye my hair blue, or I did not dye my hair. I spray painted my head blue before the game started. I wanted to do it in honour of the boners, obviously, and Toby Pink, whose jumper I'm wearing today. So shout out Tobe. I should have actually dyed it red. Yes. I should have spray painted it red, but I didn't. Now, yeah, there's plenty to talk about, and we'll get to the boners, I'm sure, in a bit.
We will get to the boners, all right? But for once, there are actually bigger issues at play today. Jaiden, if I could get a little bit of my own voice in my ears, that'd be terrific. I can't hear myself. If you can fix that, that'd be great. Now, look, that is one issue, the North Melbourne Football Club.
This says share a Coke with
Jeremy McGovern retiring is an issue that we will be speaking about. One of the great defenders, I think, best modern-day defender. We can debate that if you like.
I have no debate, but I'll just jump on board.
Okay.
Toby Pink.
Dan's in Bali. We'll be live crossing to him, I believe, for something to do with the North Melbourne Football Club.
Yep.
Freo butcher someone else. Jack Buckley Medal coming up. But the biggest the biggest issue in the league today, and I think maybe in the AFL worldwide, right? And I can't really throw into it because Jaiden's going to have to start playing me some stuff off the monitor over there. So I'm just waiting for him to get back.
That's
there
right.
it
didn't work. Can you hear yourself? No.
Yeah, I can.
Perfect.
Not
There you
really,
go.
but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can deal with this right now.
That's okay. There's more important things.
As Jaiden sits down and puts his jacket on, I mean,
It's a bit cold. It's cold.
Jesus Christ,
It's
sit
it's
down.
chilly.
and
It's
sit
chilly.
with Peter.
He's locked in.
Look, okay, are you locked in over there?
Yeah, he's locked in. Here we go.
In one of the, I think, more disgraceful media blow-ups and performances we've seen in modern times over the weekend, there's been a fair bit going on. Give us a look at this image. Just give us a look. Let's have a look. Okay. Jay Clark, just doing his job here, by the way.
Yep.
Reporting what I think, he thinks is right. Unfortunately, Jay-Z's a couple of years late to the party here. The Defensive Player of the Year award is coming to the AFL to correct the lack of love for the game's backman. Only one key defender in the top 68 of the AFL coaches' votes. So, Jay Clark...
Makes me want to spew up my own face, that.
I don't think he's done much wrong here. But the Defensive
Yes, he
Player
has.
of the Year award,
We've already got one.
it's fucking here, boys.
We've had
The
it.
Jack Buckley Medal has existed for 2 years. We're in the third iteration of this award.
Yeah.
Now, okay, little podcast over to Western Australia. The big boys, so Jay's the head of the Herald Sun football department now. Big
Massive.
upgrade.
Well done, Jay.
I knew Jay when he was a Geelong Advertiser journo. Come a long way.
You know what Jay's problem is? Jay's still stuck in footy or Victorian footy because there hasn't been a Victorian that's won it yet.
Yeah, correct.
Because we've had a GWS giant in Jack Buckley as the inaugural winner. We've had a Brisbane Lion in Harris Andrews as the second winner. The only reason that Jay hasn't heard about it is because it's not Victoria.
So I'm not up to my outrage state yet because
No,
like
we'll
Jay,
get there. We'll
I just
build
feel like Jay is just reporting.
Jay's
the
doing his
news.
job.
He's doing it all he can. Although I do believe he knows about this. Jay, in case you don't know, mate, here's the Jack Buckley Medal, right? This was coined in the Perth Mint. This is
a genuine
award.
Perth minted award.
Right, this is minted. Right, this is a medal that
That's
exists.
Jack Buckley sitting down on a bench
Coaches
holding a footy.
Association is contemplating
Excuse me,
an award
turn that
for
off.
Ooh,
Thank
there
you. What are you doing over there? You're so locked out of the game. Right? Just wait. Why have you pressed that button over there? It was accidental? Thought it might have been.
We are locked in.
Right. Now, Jay Clark, head of Herald Sun Football. You don't get much bigger than that. Or do you? Yes, you do.
You do.
Jared Waitley.
Oh, my God.
I believe he calls himself The Voice. I think on SEN it's called The Voice, right?
Does he sit in a swivel chair with a button?
He is the voice of football, Jared Waitley. He is the number one caller. He is the number one guy on SEN, which is the number one station in football. He's on Fox Footy, right? I work with him, not really, but sort of, right? He is the man. When you hear about things from Jared Waitley, you know they're right. And you know they're right, and you know that he's done his research. Let's hear what Jared had to say about this.
The Coaches Association is contemplating an award for defenders. This is professional sport. If you want to give Harris Andrews 10 votes last night in the Coaches Association because he was the best player on the ground, give him the award. The 10 votes. Jeremy McGovern is a 5-time All-Australian, and on the night he's inducted into the Hall of Fame, he doesn't need some Pox Defender of the Year award. He is the All-Australian defender
Don't you
5
laugh,
years
Jeremy.
running.
Pox.
He has a premiership, and he's going to be on stage at the Hall of Fame in 5 years' time. Let's not be... This is professional sport. They don't all need a ribbon. They are in contention every week to be the best player on the ground. To come up with something other than, God bless him, Danny Frawley's Golden Fist Award, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
They don't need a Defender of the Year award.
Why are you
There is an
looking at me like
All-Australian
this? I didn't
fullback.
write the story.
There is an All-Australian centre-half-back. There are 4 other All-Australian
It's your fault,
defenders.
Sam.
That's enough.
Isn't the debate
Turn it
that
off,
we've
get
got
off,
the
get
Coleman-
off. Get these idiots off. Jared Waitley. Do you know what, Jared? I actually agree with you. It is professional sport. It is elite sport. And if we were doing the so-called way you'd like to do, why are we giving a Coleman fucking medal, Jared? Who can win that, mate? Can a midfielder win that? No. Can a
Well,
backman
yeah,
win-
but not fucking easily.
Can a backman win that? No, absolutely not. In fact, they're banned from winning that in our
Yeah,
award.
you're not allowed to do that in our award.
A Coleman medal is a forwards award, Jared. Do you understand the AFL already does this? You've been doing this for multiple years, awarding forwards an award just for being a forward.
Same as being, let's be honest, the Brownlow medal. The last forward to have won that was Tony Lockett in 1997, I think.
The last key backman to win the Brownlow
won
medal was Ross Glendenning, 1983. It is an absolute...
So it's a midfielder's award. Why give that, Jared? Why not just have a premiership?
Jared, that is from one of the smartest men in football.
It's a dumb take, Jared.
It is very, very
Tell you what
dumb.
else? Do you want to know what else? Here's what about this one? One of the biggest sports on the planet, not soccer, that is probably the biggest. NBA, another massive sport, had their championship today. They give out a Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, wow.
They give a fucking Defensive Player of the Year out. They have a scoring title and they have a Defensive Player of the Year award. Because, yes, it's professional sport.
Do you know who else
and you
does
reckon
that?
What? Who?
The NFL.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they're pretty big sports.
Hey, Jared, I saw you at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what about that,
years.
Jared?
You like floating over the Super Bowl. You like giving the Defensive Player of the Year award. Yet, we don't do that in the AFL because it's professional sport and not everyone needs a ribbon. Jared, we're already giving ribbons to everyone. We're giving the Coaches Award, the Brownlow, the Coleman. What else are we giving? The best first-year player. I used to sit and watch the best first-year player at the Best and Fairest. Anyone else win that? No, it's just a bit... Do you understand? This is what we do, Jared. And you know what we don't do? Is award backman an award for being the best backman in the league. And that's absolutely disgraceful from the AFL.
That's why we've been doing it for 3 years.
We already have one. It's called the Jack Buckley Medal, Jared. Can we throw to the vision of Jack Buckley being awarded the Jack Buckley Medal in its first year?
G'day, BackChat.
And from now on, we have the Jack Buckley Medal.
Look how much it means to him.
It goes without saying how big an honour this is. There's Brownlows, which, the umpire just awards the midfielders, but this wins premierships, this right here, backman, so that's funny.
Yes. That's in front of his teammates at Optus Stadium, Jared. This isn't just handed out in the BackChat podcast shitty room.
This is the real deal.
Right, let's watch next year's award. Harris Andrews, I believe he won a premiership. Have a look.
G'day, BackChat. Won't be needing this year. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the BackChat Society. It's Harris Andrews here. I was just getting in touch to say how humbled and privileged I am to have won the Jack Buckley Medal this year. Obviously, there's a few awards that you'd like to win in your career as a player. Clearly the Brownlow, highly decorated, Coaches Awards, Players MVP, but I think I know the one that I've been chasing my whole life. To be recognised as the Jack Buckley Backman of the Year, BackChat Backman of the Year is really, really exciting for myself and my family. I'd just like to have a moment and say a big thank you to a few really important people to me. Firstly, I'd like to thank my backs coach, Dale Morris. The great man has been a big part of my development this year, rewarding my defensive acts, which obviously you guys have enjoyed. I'd also like to thank my small defenders, James Orko, Darcy Wilmot, Brendan Starcevic, for running beside me and getting handball receives. Yes. It's a nice thing that I don't have to kick the football and make a fool of myself. Yep. And lastly, I'd like to thank the mids in my team. You know who you are. Shout out to the mids for putting a little bit of pressure on every now and then and making my life a lot easier as a defender. You go a long way for that pressure, and I really do appreciate it. And the last thing I'd like to say is also a big thank you to the forwards that missed shots at goal when I was standing on the mark. Plenty of bags to be kicked, but it doesn't hurt as much when they go through the behind. So, really humbled, really honoured to have won the Jack Buckley Medal. Thank you again, and really do appreciate BackChat going out of their way to highlight the importance and the significance of defenders in our game. So,
Someone send that to Jared Whaley. I forgot
Clip that up, Jared.
I forgot about the Players Awards. We've got the Players Player, we've got the Coaches Player, we've got the Brownlow, the Coleman. We've got the best first year. I mean, seriously, Jared, we've got everything.
You've got Mark of the Year and Goldie. What about Spoil of the Year?
We've got everything other than a Backman's Award. So, Jared, we are giving ribbons out. I agree with you. So give the one to the Backman, which is the Jack Buckley Medal, which exists already.
Yep.
We've already proven the fact that it's actually given to the best Backman. Jack Buckley wins it in the first year. That's
Harris Andrews wins it in the next. Yep.
Harris Andrews gave that speech on grand final week, by the way.
Yep.
We awarded this on Brownlow night.
Yeah.
Right?
So
we don't watch the Brownlow, we watch the Jack Buckley
Exactly.
Medal.
So he was very, very into that. It's ridiculous. The fact that
I can't believe this one.
I was fuming. And anyway, it does exist. And for the AFL, if you do want to, if you want to have
the algorithm.
if you want to buy the algorithm, it's not for sale. Obviously there's a price for everything, and you can hit me up. But I'm happy with where it's at.
I'm sure that the message has been well and truly received by Jared and others in the media by watching you with bright sprayed hair.
But it's everyone. Like, ask every player. It's
You got Toby Pink's badge on, for fuck's sake, and his jumper.
I got Toby Pink's badge on. I got his jumper on. I got a hair like a Roo. Yeah, but like, just ask any player. Don't worry about the dinosaur media. How about a little bit of player action? Shit, should we recognise defenders? Yeah, we fucking should, actually. We should.
I should have gone harder in socials. I had other things going on, though, including one of the great defenders of all time retiring.
Yeah.
But
before we move on, before we move on from this real quick,
Yeah.
Jaiden, we don't have to play. You can play this thing if you want, just real quick.
Do you want to just do the Jack Buckley Medal right now?
Yeah, just do it right now because we're on the topic.
You've got the touch.
It's so locked out over there.
No, he's on. He's on. This is just going to be real. You got the power.
Can we do the Jack Buckley?
Yeah, we can if you want.
Yeah, I want to. Is that all right or not?
No, so I'm not giving votes, but I've got
that's
a
right.
few things to
Yeah,
talk
good,
about.
great.
So obviously Sam Taylor was leading.
Oh, wait, hang on. Is this news that he's out? Have we done the podcast since then? We haven't done the podcast.
Oh no, Dan texted us before the pod last week saying like, I've got something.
Yeah, and then he didn't say it on the
Sam
pod.
Taylor's out.
Mate, Sam Taylor's out for like 6 weeks. And he's leading an unassailable lead until now.
It was an unassailable lead until
This
now.
is why
on
we
the Jack
give it
Buckley.
Jared Taylor.
Exactly.
I mean, not Jared Taylor.
Jared Waitley. Jared Taylor, Sam Taylor's son. That's it. He is Sam Taylor's your dad, Jared.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've got Sam Taylor in an unassailable lead, and then I went radio silent on the votes. We've then had a couple of rounds in darkness.
Yep.
Sam Taylor's broken his foot or whatever he's done, fractured something, and he's out for 6 weeks.
Thoughts out with him as well.
Thoughts out with Sam.
Jacob
obviously.
Wiedering hurt his ankle, but then came back 5 minutes later.
So thoughts out to Sammy, and hope he gets better. Big slammer. But that opens the door.
Yeah.
As anything does. When Nick Dacos hurt himself in the Brownlow, that opened the door and he didn't win it. So will Sam Taylor go down late? Will someone be able to catch him? Is someone already caught him? Who knows?
Wow.
I can reveal a few things about this week's Jack Buckley Medal voting. We had a first vote getter.
Wow.
Really, really exciting. And I'm going to tell you who it is.
Wow. Because do you think he's never going to get votes again?
No, he's not never going to get votes again, but this was the first, and this was unbelievable. Toby fucking Pink! Toby Pink has hit the Jack Buckley scoreboard after walking, grabbed his hand, and went into the Carlton change rooms at the start of the game, grabbed Charlie Curno's hand, walked him out onto the MCG, said, this is the big stage, Charlie. There's a few fans out here. Your team's not going good, but don't worry about today, mate. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to walk you through this, Charlie. I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. And Toby just led him away from the ball. He went to the ball and said, actually, you know what? I'm going to take that. Sorry, Charlie. Charlie kicked 1 point, had 9 touches, did nothing in the worst game of his career.
And Pink Eye got votes.
And Pink Eye got votes. Wow. Toby Pink, welcome to the Jack Buckley leaderboard. He could go big.
That's exciting.
Really exciting.
I know you can't reveal it, but
I can't reveal
can
how
Toby
many...
Pink win from here?
Toby Pink can win from here.
Yeah.
Anyone can win from here. Yeah. As is the way the 5-4-3-2-1 voting system works. Anyone can win from here. The algorithm set, we had a big score.
I want an appointment with Jared Waitley. I want an appointment on this show. I want him to speak about how disgraceful and disrespectful he's been to backman, not only in the AFL but around the country.
I'd really like an apology from
Getting
Jared.
angrier.
And I'll tell you what you could do. You know how they've got, if he won't actually come on and apologise, you know what you can do like an AI apology? Just get like Jared Waitley's voice to do an AI apology. We should definitely do that.
Someone send that in, please.
If we can't get Jared on here to apologise,
which I'm sure we'll be able to.
We should definitely get an AI to make Jared apologise.
I'm going to reach out to Jared.
Yeah, reach out to Jared.
I'm going to reach out to Jared and see if he wants to come on and defend himself.
Just say, hey, mate, what's your... Yeah, I'd love it.
Comments are the first that have come out of his mouth that were disgraceful. I haven't heard another disgraceful word come out of his mouth. These were disgraceful.
So Jared can be the... Jared can debate the affirmative, you can debate the alternative or whatever the fuck the debating terms, and I'll be the arbitrator. Okay. I'll be the unbiased mediator.
Will you be dressed like Toby Peak?
No, I'll wear a suit. I'll be the unbiased arbitrator.
Is that the only point you had to make for me?
The only point I had to make for you. I couldn't...
You said I've got a couple of things for you. That's the only thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, no. Sam Taylor was injured. That was one. The race is now blown wide open, 2. And Toby Pink's hit the scoreboard. That's 3.
All right.
Anyway,
stay tuned because this could be getting bigger than ever, the Jack Buckley Medal. I don't know, but it could be.
It's massive.
Let's move on to...
talking about defenders.
Let's stay with defenders. Talk about Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah.
One of the best defenders of the modern day game. I think the best. Jeremy McGovern has been forced to retire from the AFL through medical retirement. I've spoken a fair bit on the Shelter Footycast about Gov. I've said that I think he was the best modern day defender because of his intercept game. And the reason I think that is the way the game has gone now is about intercept. It's about avoiding turning the footy over. And when you turn the footy over, can you score? Not only did Gov help intercept, he helped score the other way. Adam Simpson spoke about him like he was his bloody son, and both times I've heard him speaking about it, because he was his favourite player, because he knew he just had it handled. I heard Andrew McWalter speak about him in the rooms at West Coast, saying you were the hardest player I ever coached against. Because midfielders, you can tag. Backman, you can't really... You're really giving up one of your forwards to go and get something done against him. I think it's a terrific career. Do you have any Jeremy McGovern memories that you might be able to share that would be a little left of centre?
Yeah, I certainly do. So I did this on Hammers Happy Hour on Friday. I ranked my top 5 Gov moments, and 2 of which weren't at all football related. The first one was my first year at his warehouse for our end of season drinks. After the marquee session, I've rocked up as Miss Scotland, and
I hosted this event.
You hosted the event, and I was like 2 minutes late, and there was a can of Guinness that had been sitting on the pavement getting nice and hot. That was number 1, my first interaction with Gov as a good bloke. But then like we went out, and I didn't pay for, just didn't pay for a thing. It was like he's put all the food and beer on at his warehouse. He just pays for it all. It was great. My number 3 thing, so funnily enough, after Hammers Happy Hour, I walked out the front, and TB and Gov were just out there getting ready to go somewhere.
Oh.
And so, like, I said hello, and told him what I'm doing in there. Anyway, we reminisced on my top 3. My third one was, remember Scotty Lysette's host parents? Did you ever go around to dinner there? Joey, I think it's Joe and Pina. Yeah. Italian family, love cooking, like just putting a big spread on. I went round there one night, and for whatever reason, Gov was around there as well, friends with them, and Scotty, and it was just a big barbecue. And I was like 2 months into being at the club. This was just after Christmas break. I've got back there. I'm 19 and I've got an appetite like a fucking hippopotamus. I can just go, and so can Gov. Anyway, first tray of meat comes out. I've had a bit. He's had a bit. Second tray of meat comes out. Would you like one, Gov? Yeah, I'll have one. Yeah, I'll have one too. And after like the third bit of food came out, Gov and I both realised that it was sort of on and that I'd thrown the gauntlet down, and we'd just sort of picked it up. And from there, it was about a 2-hour non-stop eat off. And he eventually, I reckon he tapped out. I thought he beat me, but at the front there he goes, mate, you had me. I tapped out.
He loves eating.
Yeah, and so him and I went on a meat bender for about 3 hours, just eating literally like ribs, sausages, steak, brisket, chops, chicken, everything that was coming out there. Salads were going by the wayside. But yeah, that was a couple of those just random ones that Gov.
I'll give you one bad on-field memory of, not bad, I think it's funny, of Gov, and one insight that no one else will be able to give about Gov, a good one. So the bad one was like wasn't his first game, because that was at Telstra Dome, but it was one of his first as a backman proper in the AFL, and it was at Adelaide Oval, and Adelaide was sizzling. It was like the year that they were just kicking goals for fun. It's a hot day, Adelaide Oval. It was one of the first years at the new build or whatever. And so the stadium, you feel like you're in a furnace, and like put on that, Eddie Betts has kicked 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. They're 6 goals up, and we are under the pump as a backline. Yeah. And Gov's sort of playing as another key backman, and me and Bung tell this same story. Like, about 20 minutes into the quarter, it hadn't been going that long. Like, we just hear, like... like, look around. We're 20 minutes in the first quarter. Gov is just, like...
wheezing.
A goal had been kicked, and it was Gov breathing. Like... And I was like, mate, do you need to get off the field? Like, are you okay? And he's like... I'm like, mate, just breathe. What are you trying to say? What is that? He's like... Is it always this fucking hot? Is it always this fucking hard at the AFL? This is even the middle of the AFL game. And I'm like, mate, get the fuck off. Get off and have a rest. Like, trugged over, went over. We actually won that game, funnily enough. But it was like, welcome to the AFL moment. Yeah. Fast forward to like prime McGovern.
Oh, yeah.
I never professed to be very good at doing many things in the AFL. I played 200 games, so I must have been doing something okay. And I know I sort of self-degrade myself. But like really, towards the back end of my career, I was just there to help others. I tried to be a good teammate and do all that. I just never forget, and so where I was going with that was what I was good at, very good at, I think, and it goes underrated, was reading where my teammates were. I just always knew where people were in contests. Like, and it helped me spatially. Like when I was quick, I could get out of, like I could spin, I could duck and dive. But when I got older and slower and stuff, it helped me aerially in aerial contests. Like I just always knew where TB and Gov and Bunga were, or Shep, or anyone that was going to come and help me. I just knew where they were. Yeah. And like, I just never forget how good of a feeling it was to know where Gov was and just know he was going to mark it. Like,
Yep.
And there was a skill to it, and I'm patting myself on the back here, but there was a skill to getting my opponent in a position where
He couldn't impact it.
yeah. And then it got to a stage where, like, I reckon this is 2015, like this is prime time, grand final year, where I was just like, what do I need to do to just protect Gov? I don't even care about anything other than, like, I'd see Gov running from 30 metres away and I'd just be like, sick. This is going to be that good. Like, get my player to just a position with just enough where, like, Gov would just clip my shoulder, but he'd mark it. And he'd safely, and I'd see him on the ground, I'd just be like, I'd just like jog off. I'd not even look for the ball. Like,
He had a stretch there where he was just, he just was unstoppable. Someone messaged in on Friday's episode. It was like, remember when Port Adelaide or Sydney, whoever it was, like dribbled the ball inside 50?
Yes.
That game. They were purposely kicking it on the floor inside 50 so that it wouldn't go to him.
Yes.
It's like, who the fuck does that?
Right.
The top three are in this century, Alex Rance, Jeremy McGovern, probably Matt Scarlett.
Scarlett, yep.
They're your three. And like
Scarlett and Rance didn't intercept like
Gov. They were like a bit more locked down. And Gov, there's never been almost a better mark than him.
Unbelievable.
In terms of actually grabbing the football. Anyway, he was a star, and what a career. Shout out Jeremy McGovern. Hope your head's okay.
Yeah, I thought it was disrespectful from Jared Waitley in the week Gov retires to start to
rip on
defenders like Jared did.
And says, when Gov gets into the Hall of Fame, he won't care about an award. I think if Gov had won a Jack Buckley Medal, that would have been first cab off the rank for his things that he would have wanted.
Because I'm hosting and Dan's not here, by the way, he's gone to Bali specifically to get the tattoo.
I can see it on the run sheet.
I believe we are going to be getting that a little bit later on. We'll be doing a live cross to Dan. What I do want to try and pull up as I'm speaking is YouTube, so I can see if there are any comments coming through.
Any super comments?
But I, surprisingly enough, have a super message on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Toby Pink's messaged in. What's he said, Jay?
Did he reply to my story?
Have you written it there, or you just said...
Did he reply to the story of you...
I don't know.
Do you want me to get it up?
Nah, Jaiden's got a microphone.
He's replied to the story. He said, what is he doing?
Okay, that's not exciting at all, man.
And then we got this. Not from Toby. But this came in as well.
Please tell me that if you are not watching, you need to just go. So Toby Pink is holding Tom Lynch, Charlie Curnow,
that
Freo
looks
player.
like Josh Tracy and Oscar Allen, but like not really them. That's chat. That's pretty funny.
Very, very good. So I thought that was
Toby good. Also looks massive there.
What do you mean?
Look at that. Like that's I think an AI remake of something.
Yes.
Look how big they've made Toby Pink look.
I love it.
I love it.
That's exactly what it
just
should
a
be.
thick neck.
I think it's in proportion.
Now, boys, I don't really want to talk about Fremantle, to be honest, Jaiden. I think I'm going to keep moving. I'd like to.
They were really good. Caleb Strong, great. Luke Jackson, star. Andrew, very good. Who else? Jordan Clark, probably an All-Australian halfback.
Did you see that you're leading the clearances for
Fremantle?
I'm
coming second in the clearances. So that's good. Caleb's probably a bit far ahead of us, and then I'm second for the Fremantle clearances.
Yes.
Shout out the West Australian.
Yes. Now, I want to move on to, I think, some of the more one of the strangest tribunal decisions going around, I think, Hamish.
Yep.
Marcus Windhager has been fined $1,500, by the way.
God,
People say 1,000. He's been fined $1,500, down to 1,000 with an early plea, for striking Nick Dacos. How did you grade said strike?
I just couldn't believe it. Like, that's just... What's wrong with that? That's a midfielder that's a venom hit. You get taught how to do that.
How many times as a midfielder, even in the waffle, and I'm not trying
every
to talk
single week.
Right. How many times would you get hit like that?
All the time.
Yeah.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's like literally you just get, it's like, okay, mate, yeah, you've given me a little one there. Sweet, no worries.
I find it bizarre that's been actually used there.
Didn't Scott Pendlebury did that to Lachie Neale a couple of years ago, but like actually just punched him in the stomach.
Yes.
Angus, I remember my first VFL game against Angus. So I played a VFL game against Angus when he was coming back from injury. He played for Casey. I was playing for the Zebras, Sandringham, and like lined up on him at a stoppage, and he just belted me in the stomach. And was just
did you get $1,000?
No, he just ran away and had 37 and kicked 3 and never played VFL again. It was the last game of VFL he ever played. But couldn't believe this fine.
Yeah, I know. So I've heard a few people talk about this in the media. I've called him out a couple of times, actually. Sorry, Kingy, because I do like your work. David King.
Yeah. Shout out, Kingy.
Hey, I saw him try to defend this and say that we need our best players protected and we can't have our best players being shoved around off the footy. Come on, Kingy. Kingy would have played with
Brady Rawlings.
Tens of 20s of 30s of taggers, of players that wanted to dedicate themselves to the team, sacrifice their game to help the team. That's all this is.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. If Nick Dacos needs to fight through a couple of stray knees and a couple of pinches and a couple of elbows, so be it, to be honest.
I agree.
You can't get rid of them.
And also, he did.
Yes.
He had 30 in a goal.
Yeah,
he was phenomenal.
Yeah, so exactly right. What are we actually whinging about?
He did. He did fight through it. Like, if you're worried about that, look back at how Gary Ablett was treated. Like, look what players had to try and do stuff to Gary Ablett to stop him, and he did it. Nick Dacos is, I think, going to be the best player of all time when all is said and done. Nearly. And my opinion is he will be. But you've got to find ways to stop him. And not that couldn't stop him. And what I would say to that is, if you're Collingwood or you're, Craig McRae, or if you're, who else is on their list that is a bit of a bruiser, Darcy Cameron, if you see your best that happening to your best player, fly the flag for him.
Yes.
They didn't fly the flag until Nick Dacos kicked that goal and then everyone was into Windhager on the floor. If I saw someone, let's call it, let's say you, for example, you see someone pinching Luke Shuey, knee in the back, and you get a chance to run past him, are you just letting him, are you letting him do that? No, you're fucking belting him.
No, you're bloody well not.
Exactly. So, yes, that was a bit of a... Marcus Windhager has gone after Nick Dacos in the way that every player that he's going to tag him should, because you have to stop him. He's a gun. But Collingwood, fly the flag, make it hard for Windhager.
FozJam on YouTube says, check out what David King did to Craig O'Brien in the 96 grand final.
Oh, yeah, there you
him
go,
in the
King.
eye and fractured his eye socket.
Oh, King.
How many dollars did you get fined for that,
Pot
King?
calling the kettle black, hey, Kingy.
Firing up on YouTube, I like it. Brandon Cavello says, Will Schofield, why don't you dye your hair blue too? It's not funny.
That hurts. You could dye your beard. You could dye your beard blue.
But I don't go for the kangaroos.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
I like that.
Yeah, but this was a ridiculous fine. And look, yeah, it was. He went hard at Nick. The pinching, the kneeing, but that's footy, and you're the best player in the comp. You got to deal with it, and he did. Dominated.
While we're talking about getting kneed in the ass, can we have a little look at Dan's tattoo? What's happening over on that side of the world? Have we got something from Daniel?
We do have a video in from Dan. It's not live, but
that's all right.
I was asking you to throw it.
All right, I'm just here in Bali with Oyen.
With who?
That's a bet. Hammer, I'm sorry that I bet against you. Now we have Kangaroo happening. It's been a rough weekend, obviously. Gov retiring. This is happening. Kangaroo on my arm. But it is a memory of a bad time in my football club. And in a few years when we win a premiership,
You're not going to.
I'll look down at this and it will remind me of a bad time, but it'll make that premiership that much sweeter. Just a quick one. Sorry I can't be there. I did have to come to Bali for this.
What's that sound
doing sort of work on the road. And just a quick guarantee, West Coast will win against Collingwood this week. I just feel it. Same feeling I had when we played St Kilda.
Dan's got barley belly.
Is that a Peruvian flute band in the background?
See you soon.
There's a
Oh,
finished
there you go.
product.
So, Dan,
It's probably
firstly,
shitter than I would have liked.
yeah, you're not going to beat Collingwood. And secondly, you think West Coast are going to win a premiership soon. I will double down on a bet that North Melbourne will win a premiership sooner than West Coast will. I don't know what the bet is.
It can't be another tattoo because it's just shit.
Yeah, no. Well, what else can you do?
Literally anything we like.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Just not tattoo.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it'll be yet.
Okay, great.
But we'll figure that out. I will bet you that I will do that. North will win a premiership before that. And we've got years to come up with it because we're not winning one.
Do you want to tell us how the Boners win was, mate? Like, how do you feel? How did you feel? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
You needed some cheering up because you played your 100th game in the Waffle.
Afterwards.
So you're already up.
I was in danger of not playing.
So maybe that's what happened.
I was in danger of not playing. I had all the blood rush straight from my head, and that's not my knee, by the way, for anyone watching. That's not my knee. That is my just enormous shin boner. Look, it was a perfect start time, like 11:20. I was thinking, how good's this? Sit down, and straight off the bat,
Yes.
we just looked phenomenal. I didn't
see any of this,
mate. We looked like a premiership contending side. We were flying out of the middle. Tristan everyone wants to pay Tom DeConning $17 million. How about you pay Tristan Sherry $1 billion? Let's pay Tristan Sherry $1 billion. And everyone, what about Harley Reid getting $2 million for his new contract? What about Eddie LDU, the best player ever? Tom Powell, gun. Colby McKercher, gun. Harry Sheasel, gun. We've got so many guns running through that team.
But where have you been? You only won 4 games this year.
Yeah, because we're just getting into it now. We're rolling. We're tied with Brisbane, and we lost a few that we probably should have won. Anyway, we just stood up when it mattered. And yes, we nearly lost because they came home at the end and we didn't kick a single point in the last quarter. But that's because we put the Q in the rack.
Yes.
We were feet up.
You
chilling.
did not kick a point. That's how much Q got.
The Q went away. Ronnie O'Sullivan sat down in his chair and said,
felt like
Q, I've thrown my Q out.
Got thrown
we gave the Qs away at 3/4 time. We gave them away. We just unscrewed them, folded them up, put them in their case and said,
you didn't score a point.
Have this Q.
Not a point.
I don't want this Q anymore. We are away. Anyway, what I've done actually, it's funny you should say how the boners went because I think we went really well. And what it got me thinking is, wow, anything's possible from here. Literally anything's possible. So
well, it's not.
It is.
You can't win the flag this year.
Literally anything's possible. So what I've done is I've gone on the ladder predictor. And Jaiden, I've gone through every round from here. So we've got about 9 rounds left. So Jaiden, I just want you to flick up. I've sent you through some photos. I hope these come through in order. We got the Hawks down in UTAS next week. We win that. The Hawks are good down there, but we are very good in Tassie.
Right.
We win that. Then we go to the next week and we've got the Bulldogs at home, under the lid at Marvel. The Bulldogs are only just going.
They love playing under the lid.
Yeah, but Bulldogs only beat the lower end teams, and by this point we're really starting to churn things over. So I think we beat the Bulldogs there. You go to Melbourne. Melbourne suck.
You will win against Melbourne.
We will win at Melbourne. And we own the MCG.
Yes.
As, Charlie Curnow has just found out, Toby Pink is the MCG general, the hallway. He's the hallway monitor at the MCG.
MCG father.
He's the father of the G. Anyway, so we beat.
What was the Indian comments I was getting? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
Virati's father of India. Anyway, so we've got that, and then we go up to the SCG. The Swans suck. We all know that. Dan Cox can't coach.
No, he can't.
No, he can. He's very good. But yeah, that's just falling apart. So we go up there and we dismantle them pretty comfortably. That's
you're on a run.
We're on a hot run here. And then once again, geez, thank God we didn't get them at GMHBA because they're pretty good there. But under the lid at Marvel, they don't know how to travel up the road. They really can't. They just do it in that shit town, and that's your town. Otherwise, we get them done. So we take them to Marvel under the lid, and that's a tight one. That is a real tight one, but we get that done. So we're on a hot streak here. St Kilda are rubbish, so don't worry about them. We just roll over the St Kilda Football Club at Marvel Stadium. We then flick on to the next week. It's glitching, isn't it? We're still on St Kilda? GWS. Yeah, now this one was tough.
You're not going to beat the Giants.
We are. We don't lose up in Canberra.
Are you in 10th at this stage?
Yeah, we're in 10th. We're in 10th at this stage, so we're slowly creeping up the ladder. We love politics at the North Melbourne Football Club. Everyone is into their politics. We love debate. We love all things politics. We went to Questacon that morning. Did you ever go to Questacon? We went to Questacon. We had a look around, went to SciTech, went to Parliament House, and then we thought, you know what, actually, we've got a game to win. Let's get up to Manuka Oval at Corroboree Group Oval. We smoked GWS that game. All of a sudden, we're in 10th. Next week comes around. We're getting towards the end of the season. Richmond at Ninja. This was an easy beat. We wiped the floor with them. We said, how about this, Tigers? How about you just get kicked in the face by a kangaroo?
Well, you're going to beat them. Yeah, I can say that.
Exactly. So now we're 9th.
You're in 9th.
Now we've got a couple of rounds left of the season. What's up next, Jaiden? We go bang. Adelaide Crows, we're under the lid at Marvel. Oh, whatever. There's all this hype about them. They don't have what we've got. We smoked them. Toby Pink on Riley Filthorpe. He didn't touch the ball that game. He did not touch the ball. Next game. All of a sudden, we are finishing 8th. On 54 points, we sneak into the 8. The Bulldogs and Hawks, they just miss.
You play in Adelaide?
We play Adelaide at Adelaide. We smoke them.
Yep.
Literally, it's one of the craziest. We've just beaten them and we beat them again. And it's just one of the craziest of all time, that game. We then go and we play the loser of Fremantle Collingwood. I think.
So Freo finished on top of the ladder.
And they win that.
Scenario.
So they beat Collingwood.
So
we play Collingwood at the G and we own the MCG.
Wow.
Everyone knows we own the MCG. We win that. We then go up to the Gabba to play Brisbane. And they don't know what hit them. We've come up to the Gabba and we've rolled train through the Gabba. It's a Fremantle North Melbourne Grand Final. Andrew has 48 and he gets the North Smith medal, but the bonus get it done.
So you're willing to sacrifice your brother's lifelong happiness as a premiership player for shimbonery?
Obviously. I was the only one at the pub last week supporting him. at a pub in Fremantle. I was the only boner in there just cheering for it when they were coming home with an onslaught.
Well, Hammer,
Anyway, the boners get it done.
I like how you've laid that out. Before you leave, Hammer,
Yeah,
I've got to throw some fines at you because
go
they're
for
coming thick and fast.
And then I got to get in the shower because I'm meant to be
backchatpodcast.com.au. Head to fines and send us a fine. Give us a live update of a game. Tell us how much you hate someone. There better be some feedback for Jared Waitley in here, I'll tell you what. Let's go.
G'day, gents. $20 million fine to the AFL and Andrew McDillon. Fuck, it's been shit since he's come in. Fuck. And to all the fans, you can get $1 each, just because every team is every sort of fan. It's not just Collingwood and Port. Fuck off. Give one to the Wizard Watson. You're not a fucking wizard yet, mate. You got a head I want to hit, and that's Jeff Farmer anyway.
You got a head I want to hit.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I like it.
G'day, legends.
$20 million.
And Dan.
Yes, I like that. Bring that back.
Just finding myself here $10, which is the cost to sign up and become patron.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
On Patreon.
Yep, sure.
Because I'm a fucking tight ass. And now I have to deal with the ads every 20 minutes.
Wow. You're an idiot.
If I have to hear Dan tell Hammer about putting his house on bloody Airbnb while he's away his end of season footy trip again, or fucking Dan talking about putting his house on Airbnb. Dan, don't you still live with your in-laws?
Your mum and dad.
Mate, what's that about? But yeah, I just, you know what? I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go sign up on
sign up on Patreon
now.
Ad free.
Exactly
Thanks,
right.
boys.
Go and do it. Just go to backchatpodcast.com.au just for a bit of insight on those ads, right? You got to come up with sort of like, we like to go behind the veil.
Yeah.
You got to come up with like, you know, stories that are real,
Yeah,
but
you
also
just got to
like,
chew the fat a little bit.
and every time, like we've done Airbnb ads for about 3 years now. Every time I'm like, can't we just talk about you living with your mum and dad? And you're going to get Airbnb your mum and dad's house. And he's like, can't do it. We're going to make him do it. Been a fair bit of feedback for Dan on the YouTube chat, by the way. People don't think he's in Bali. And they're also saying he owes another tattoo because it was meant to be on his ass.
Nah, he actually did text me this morning saying, would you mind if
He doesn't get a choice. You do.
I said no. It was my decision. I didn't care if it was on his ass or
Chickened
not.
out. All right, next.
G'day, legends. I would like to find Warren Treadway,
Yeah,
but
this guy.
he doesn't believe that Australian currency is real, so not really sure what to do here.
That's it.
That's good.
That's it.
That's good.
What the fuck was that all about?
That's
I don't have any silver and gold coins.
Mate, it would have been nice to do the backchat interview with him. Now we just released that with Warren Treadway. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. He's done an IOU to Channel 9 for $20 million or something.
Sorry, guys. Wait. I just got to wait until I get enough gold and silver. What the fuck, Warren? You smoking meth or something?
Don't.
Can't say that, but that's weird.
No.
Anyway.
Okay, next.
Hello, Hammer, Scully, and the other bloke. It's Mr. B, owner here.
Great.
Just at the MCG here. 3/4 time. The blood's flowing. I want to fine all the Carlton supporters that have left early $1.
Yes.
Who knows how many will have left? The fine will be up for the last quarter leavings. Go the bonus.
Yeah,
That's elite from the
Do love that
MCG.
live from, and he probably it would have been really hard for him to do that.
No, we're not.
No, as in like he would have had to have been lying down to get the blood rushing back to his head. He would have been done. Someone would have been holding him with his feet up here, and he's just boner just hanging in the wind. Anyway, that's a weird.
Wasn't there IOUs on Dumb and Dumber? Didn't they fill Mary Swanson's briefcase with IOUs? Have you seen Dumb and Dumber? So that Samsonite, so they're looking for Samsonite. Anyway, they finally get the briefcase back and open up, and there's IOUs in there. Anyway, good.
Mr. Boner back.
Yeah.
Great win by the bonus. Everyone's rock hard in the MCC. The fine now is for St Kilda. 1.2 million for DeConing. If he's worth that, Cherry's worth 2.2.
$1 billion.
What a waste of money.
Yep, agreed.
That's great.
That's a great fine. Love boner fines. Live boner fines.
Everyone's erect in the MCC, he reckons. Keep going.
Hearts to hearts and hands to hands. Beneath the blue and white we stand. We shout, God bless our native land. North Melbourne, North Melbourne. Out we come, out we come, out we come to play.
Just for recreation. He's done. Okay.
I've got a stiffy. Jack, darling, never have your socks down again. You're a socks up operator.
He is.
Keep them coming. There's got to be more.
G'day, legends.
And
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but this is going to be one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. It's just happened. Collingwood versus St Kilda. Isaac Quaynor has tackled Dan Butler.
Yes.
He's literally like pulled him to the ground and Butler's landed on his ass. It was literally holding the ball, and the umpire has called a dangerous tackle. Like, I don't know what Isaac Quaynor is supposed to do. I mean, I'm not even a Collingwood supporter, but that was just absolutely disgusting behaviour by the umpire. Like, what are we supposed to be doing nowadays? Do we play 1, 2, 3 hold again? Or are we playing touch footy? It's got to be something like that because we just can't keep going on with this bullshit. $1,000 fine to that umpire, especially because Butler celebrated his goal by pointing at the umpire as a thank you.
No, he didn't. I'm just watching now. We've got online. Oh, no.
That was a dangerous tackle.
Oh, boy. Dan Butler's going, oh, goodness. Oh, he's talking to Quaynor. Oh, boy. That is very bad.
What I think in this situation, because he kicks the goal and then does point at the umpire. What should happen in this situation is the umpire should be able to look at the live replay and call it a ball up.
Stuff that up.
Sorry, guys. That's on me.
I saw that
Ball
in the GWS game yesterday. It was touched. He called the mark, and then about 15 seconds later, he was like, actually, I'm going to ball it up. It was like he'd watched the replay.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, so do I.
Watch the replay there. Because you watch the replay there, that's the ball up.
Grand final, like 2 minutes to go, and that happens?
Ball up.
Poor boy.
Look, while he's taking his set shot.
That'll be controversial.
Anyway.
Any more?
Okay, lads, we'll get this one in fucking early this week before I get fucking pissed and fucking obnoxious. Rightio, $5 fucking fine to my missus for losing the fucking car, the community we live in, making me cart around 2 fucking toddlers for 30 minutes with all the other fucking paraphernalia that goes with it until we found it. And we'll give her another $5 fucking bucks for now insisting like driving like a maniac because we're 30 minutes late to the fucking wedding we were going to.
Oh, no.
And causing the fucking youngest one to projectile fucking vomit all through the back of the fucking car and over her wedding clothes and scaring the fucking shit out of the poor little thing. And I'll give another $5 to her fucking sister who was getting married for having the fucking wedding 90 minutes out of the city we live in just to save a couple of fucking dollars. And the irony is her and her fucking future husband and both fucking doctors fucking shit money out of their fucking ass like a broken teller machine. So yeah, how's that for a fucking fine?
It's a very good one. That's a very good one.
Felt like that was his daughters he was talking about.
No, he's talking about his wife and his sister. His sister-in-law.
Oh, God.
That's funny.
Are we done? I think Hamish needs to get to training.
G'day, lads. Tyson here. $2 for the missus.
Fair enough.
Getting me sick.
No, that hurts.
Fucking insisted on playing tonsil tennis. And now my tonsils feel like they're on fire.
That'll do it.
Can't eat, can't swallow.
Can't speak.
Yeah.
Fucking piss poor from here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Keep up the good work, lads.
Oh, he's flat as.
Yeah, tonsil tennis.
Hey, Hammer, you get out of here, mate.
I need to rinse my head under the shower.
Yeah, you get out of here, mate. I'll finish the show off.
Thanks, mate.
All right, thanks everybody for being with us. Hamish is going. Dan's gone. Sky will finish us off. Well, there isn't too much more to get through, ladies and gentlemen. We did have a Harley read it, but I don't really like it, Jaiden, if you're okay with that, mate. I will say the AFL tipping winner, is this correct and live? Mm-hmm. Tell them Steve Dave. Tell him Steve Dave. Tell him Tevy Dave. Tell him Steve Dave, 7 correct, 0 margin. Is that 7 from 7? Or was it 8 games? I think that could be 7 from 7, 0 margin. Another 10 cartons, Hammer's owing. For the record, I got 6 with a 4 margin, so I went pretty bloody well. We're back up the rankings. I think I'm inside the top 200. That'll get you a carton of shelter. Well done for those of you who are playing. What's coming up? Ross Glendenning will be on the podcast Wednesday. That'll be exciting stuff there. We'll have the footy interchange with Adam Papalia tomorrow, which will get through all the big footy news. Make sure you go and check out our merch over on our site, backchatstudios.com.au. You can find all of our merch, all our stuff there, or on our podcast website, backchatpodcast.com.au. Next Monday, Dan will be back. Hammer will be here in full force. I don't think that hair's coming out, by the way. I don't think he's getting that out of here. And that's about all I have for everyone here, Jaiden, unless you've got anything to add. Good night. Good night. Goodbye.